Hey you guys, so I have a few things I wanted to say today, but I just want to start by saying what's up, y'all. What's up? Today is a rainy day. I was a little bit lazy today and I need to get back on my stuff. Oh my gosh, I do. How many of y'all like the rainy days though? I'm like, you sleep so good and it's like, it makes it so tempting for you to just lay around and do nothing but like gotta keep going. You gotta do what you need to do. So I think I'm gonna just put all of the stuff I need to say in one video. So, the first thing I want to say is that we have to do things when the Lord tells us to do something. Because we might be the reason why somebody's blessing or answer to prayer is not happening. It's sometimes you're praying and you're wondering what's taking God so long. And it's not that He is taking so long, because when you pray, your prayers get to Him like that. He hears immediately. And He already knows that you're going to ask before you even ask, because He knows you. He's always watching. He knows our thoughts. He knows our heart and everything. So He already knows that you're going to ask. Sometimes it's getting the people in alignment that need to do what they need to do to get your prayer to happen. For example, as a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a few examples. There was a time where I had some Bibles that were sitting in my house because I had intended to start a Bible study. For one reason or another, that didn't end up happening. But I started getting this feeling like I was supposed to bring them to my spiritual father. So I was like, I texted my spiritual father and I was like, I have some Bibles that for some reason I feel like I need to give to you. And so I brought them to church, and he was saying that he was needing some new Bibles because the ones that he ordered did not show up. Why? Because God knew that I had some sitting in my closet that were brand new. So why would he have to order them if I already had some that were sitting in my closet and I go to that church? But had I just ignored it, I would have a bunch of Bibles sitting there that I don't even really use because I already have my Bibles. Those are for extra people. And my pastor could have been sitting without some Bibles. And so you really have to, when you get that urging in your spirit about something, and not just for when it's time to give somebody stuff, but in general, sometimes God is trying to save you from a problem. And you guys are not going with that gut feeling, or like, you're like, someone's telling me I shouldn't be here. Or I need to hurry up and go home. Or you need to be following that. At the very least, you need to be praying and saying, hey, God, what is this? And if it does not go away, chances are you need to follow that. Like, you guys have to start using your common sense, because it's like, and I know they say common sense is not common, but God put a navigation system in each and every one of them. He's literally a part of your DNA. I don't know if many of you guys know that, but God built Himself into you. You have to remember, just like your parents on earth, like when you are born from your mother, you have parts of his DNA from your father. You have part of her DNA from your mother. You have to remember that where we come from originally is God the Father. Our spirit comes from God. We literally come out of the Father. And so you think that it literally says that you are made in His image. He does not call you children for nothing. He breathes a spirit into your body. And your spirit comes out of the Father. You are literally the children of God. I need you guys to understand this. I know that you guys, I don't know if it's the religiousness of church and everything like that people are not understanding supernatural and spiritual things. But God is your Father. And so as your Father, you have parts of Him in you. You have identity in Him. You look like Him. I know you don't think that. And you may not even understand that, but as you get to foster a relationship with Him, He begins to show you that you look like Him. And the closer you get to Jesus, the more you look like Jesus. Like, it's like, I'm not sure how I would have to probably go through a whole bunch of scriptures to even get you to understand that. So I need you to strengthen your relationship with Christ, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, so that you get the understanding that you are more than just some mere person walking around. You have so much purpose in you. You have so much of godliness in you. You are literally walking little gods. And I'm not saying it to be weird. I say that because God is within you. God is within you, which means you have godly nature. It's impossible for God to be part of you and you do not have some sort of godly nature, okay? I need you to understand that. But to go back to what I said, that example with the Bibles. Also, I want to let you know something that happened recently. For me, two things. I pray for two things because my car had broke down or whatever, so I had to end up taking the bus to get where I need to go. And I had this street that's near my house that's super dark, and I was just like, I was terrified to walk down it. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, because you just don't know what's gonna happen. You're like, as a woman, well, I don't know because some of you guys are dudes, and everything, but as a woman, you're just always like, oh my gosh, I'm not an ugly person, and even if you were an ugly person, let's not. And I don't want to put that out there. I don't like to call anyone ugly, but I'm like, as a woman, you're always constantly thinking, okay, my safety, X, Y, and Z, and I'm the only one walking there. It's not like there's a bunch of people, but I know there was a bunch of houses there, and it's next to a school. So, and I'm looking around, I'm like, why is it pitch black near a school? Like, that should never even happen in the first place. So I remember I went home and I prayed about it. And I said, God, I need this area to be lit up. I said, I know you care about me. I know that I'm a woman. I know that that I feel uncomfortable walking out here. And there's nobody out here. I don't have a husband walking around with me and stuff like that. Like, there's no one waiting for me at the crib and stuff like that. So, I was like, I need this area to be lit up. I need lights off the school. I need lights off the houses. I want this whole strip lit up, right? And then yesterday, I was wondering why I felt such peace, because I had forced myself to kind of just get comfortable with the darkness, I guess, because I was like waiting for whatever God was going to do. And so I would just like have people on the phone with me while I was walking. I'd kind of just like, I just keep my eyes open and walk briskly. But I had gotten myself to where I was like tough now. I was like, but then I was like, last time I was like, why do I feel so comfortable? Like, I feel at peace walking down the street. And then something stopped me. And I looked around, looked to the side. The school had all its lights on inside. Like, you could literally see inside the school because the lights were on. And all the school lights around the parking lot were on. And then I was looking at the lights on the street. All the streets, all the houses now had lights on at night in front of their house. And the lights that were on the street were on. And then all the lights and everything around my area where I live, the lights were on. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's why I feel peace. I'm like, I like, it took me good and halfway down the street to realize that God had answered my prayer. But you have to remember that all these things had happened because someone turned on their light. The people at the school had to decide to turn the lights on. The people on the street had to decide to turn their lights on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there was another example I was going to give you. What was the other example I was going to give you? I hate when you have like you're flowing and then you get like this little blockage. I'm like, dang. Because I just want to really lay this home for you guys. Because like it makes a difference. It makes a difference. I need us to see that we are all connected. And, I'm going to go on to this tangent. And if I remember the other thing, that's fine. But this also goes hand in hand with, if you are someone who works for the Lord, okay, and you know who you are because God put you through a process and everything, and He already told you that, hey, I need you to get up because you're a mouthpiece for me, and I need you to say certain things, okay? And part of saying certain things is that He wakes you up at the crack of dawn, okay? And I said it like that because I meant it like that. You hear me? Because, listen, I was an early bird, but God is a early bird. You hear me? He's an early kind of God. And so if you are getting woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? My bad, guys. There's like a little break in my video, but whatever. Like I said, so if you're getting guys, what is happening today? It's the rain. But anyway, if you are getting woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I need you to rise. I need you to rise, and that is your time to seek God. I need you to be worshiping. I need you to be praying. I need you to be asking God, what is the plan for today? What does He need you to do today? What does He need you to say today? You need to be in your word, because these are the times where God is there's no distractions around you. There's no distractions around you, and He has angels. Oh wow, I didn't think He was going to have me go this way. But the Lord has angels that are meeting you at that time. If you are a mouthpiece for God, if you are somebody who God has said he's using you, you have to realize that you have angels that are assigned to you to help you get the things done. Because when you speak, if you are a mouthpiece for God, when you speak, things happen, okay? Even people who are not, like, we are the children of God, so as we speak, we create. But when you are a mouthpiece for the Lord, you get assigned angels that help to bring things to come to pass, because you have been chosen by God, selected by God to do his work, because you have decided you are going to follow his will. Okay? So you get spiritual reinforcement, spiritual backing, and the Lord wants you to be able to use that. And so when you're not rising, first of all, you're wasting angelic assistance. There's revelation angels. For some of you, there's going to be breakthrough angels. For some of you, there's going to be healing angels, etc. There are many different types of assistance that we need. And he's given us the ability to have that around you, especially early in the morning, especially revelation. He's pouring out wisdom early in the morning for those of us who have been called to him. Okay? And he needs you to be rising on time and doing what you're supposed to do with that video. It's not just, you rise and everything like that. You just, you do nothing with whatever he gives you. No, you're supposed to read your word and asking the Lord what is on his heart, because there's someone out there, some child or something like that, who's spiraling out of control or not sure what to do next. And they're going to stumble across the video that you're supposed to make, or the post that you're supposed to make, or whatever God is leading you to do. And so he does not need you trying to wait until the next day to post something that he wants you to post now. So again, sometimes you can be blocking someone's prayer. There's someone who's asking God what they should be doing, and you might randomly be like, you know what? I feel like someone needs to move. And you don't know this person, but someone has been waiting for 3 days, 2 weeks, or whatever the case is, for understanding of what they need to be doing. They're like, I feel like I need to move, but I'm not sure, God. And they've been watching your videos for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, or something like that. And they're like, that's my move right there. I'm supposed to move. You have to remember, as a mouthpiece for God, there's someone who is waiting for something that you need to say. There's a reason why God needs mouthpieces. He needs to help his children along, because some people are not able to hear as clearly because of whatever busyness, or not having an understanding of proper relationship, or whatever the case is. And they need someone to help them along sometimes. And sometimes you get into a place where, and everybody's been here, you've been depressed, life has been crushing you, and you just need a little bit of assistance. Sometimes the thing that pulls you out of that rut is you hear a story from someone who went through something similar, or whatever the case is, or someone who has some sort of wisdom on that situation, and it pulls you out because you get a revelation. Okay, we are revelation speakers. And so God needs you to be not only spending your secret place time, and I'm going to go into a tangent after that, but he needs you to be putting out what he gives you. And on time. God is an on-time God. Okay? Sometimes everybody's like, oh, well, why is it taking God so long? No. It's not taking God so long. Sometimes it's you. You're holding on to your brother or sister's blessing. And he needs you to change that. But I'm going to stop this video right here because I need to fix something on my phone. But please be on time with what God tells you to do. Okay, so I finally figured out what that was making my camera act funny. Oh my gosh. So please, I hope this is the last time I have to do this. And I don't feel like editing, so y'all just got to deal with it. I'm sorry. I told the Lord that when he called me out to do this, that I'm not like some, PewDiePie or whatever the other big YouTubers are. I'll get there one day. But y'all just got to take this word as it is right now. But the bottom line is we're going to be on time, okay? That was the last thing we were talking about, okay? Bottom line, we're on time, okay? Just like when they say God is good, you say all the time. The bottom line, we gotta be on time, okay? Because he's an on-time God, which means that his children need to be on time. No more black time when it comes to Jesus, okay? No more black time when it comes to Jesus. If he says do something, I need you to and get to it. You hear me? So the bottom line, okay, we're on time. And I remember the other thing I was going to say to you. So another story Like, God is on time, but sometimes it takes a little bit for you to see the answer to your prayer because he has to get people to do it. There was a situation that I had in the neighborhood that I was living in. I live in a nice neighborhood near the water, very nice neighborhood. But some bad people started hanging out around there, okay? And along with that came people coming into the neighborhood speeding around with cars and stuff like that, yelling and stuff like that. And then it even got to the point where someone came through our neighborhood late at night and was shooting. I was like, never. Like, if you see my neighborhood, you would be like it doesn't even belong over there, right? So when I tell you, as soon as I had seen, that they started hanging out in this neighborhood, I got on the main line. Okay, I was like, Jesus, hello, this is Shirley. Okay, because what you're not going to be doing is acting crazy around here. And I know one thing, that prayer is powerful, especially from the righteous. He said that the prayers of the righteous availeth much. You hear me? So when stuff started happening that I don't like, okay, you gonna catch me over there in the corner or something. I'm gonna get in that closet because. So anyway, I'm being animated. But long story short, I prayed to the Lord. I was like, listen, Lord, this need to stop. I have like a little baby. I'm like a mother of the neighborhood. So I got my little homies around the neighborhood that I be, teaching and mentoring and stuff like that. And they be walking around freely and stuff like that. Because in this neighborhood, it's like safe. Like we don't be worried about the kids in this neighborhood and stuff like that. Your little kid could be hanging around in the neighbor's house and everything. And they like, if they come back with food, you already know we fed them and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, God, I'm like, whatever is going on here, I need you to dismantle it. I need you to remove them out of this neighborhood. I need all of them to be caught who was doing, any sketchy, crazy stuff. And on top of that, I need you to start sitting a police officer in this neighborhood all day, all night until this is ended. And then on top of that, I called the police because you're not going to play in my neighborhood. I'm sorry. Yes, call me Karen. Karen. Okay? Call me Karen because we are not doing that. You're not going to disrupt my peace. Like the Lord says, I'm supposed to dwell in safety. So if you come over here being dangerous, guess what's happening? Okay, call me Karen because I was Karen. Okay, and so the next maybe 2 days, I still heard the driving around, everything like that. I just kept praying. Like at first, I was a little pissed off. I kept praying. I was like, no. I was like, I was like, no. And then I started adding some tax onto it because the longer, listen, one thing about me, the longer I see the enemy playing in my face, I'm adding tax. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, I'm doubling down. I'm tripling down on it, okay? And I'm like, I don't want to see them around here no more. As a matter of fact, I want you to break down the whole gang now. Break down the whole gang. I want you to bring them down to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want them just not in my area. I don't want them around here at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. And so, long story short, like I would say like the next day, it was not long at all. It was like the next day or the next 2 days. I came into my neighborhood. The police I seen the police, they had coming around the neighborhood or whatever. I walked to down one of my streets. There was a police officer that had been assigned to that area. And I know that they were surveilling the area because guess what? I had not seen not one person around that neighborhood anymore from that day on. From that day on. I was like, nope. But that's why I say it takes time for that to happen though. Because now you could think about, okay, they're getting calls to the area. That means that the area gets highlighted, right? They're going to keep sending people out to that area. And then eventually, if you get enough calls to that area and, you got enough traffic and stuff like that, they're going to send someone to sit there. But that takes a escalation. You see what I'm saying? It takes a certain amount of people to pinpoint that. It's like, okay, that's why I'm like, you have to realize that things take time. But when you are supposed to move, you know what I'm saying? make sure you're doing your move. It takes the people that it takes to get to the blessing. You get what I'm saying? I hope what I'm saying is making sense. So I need you to have patience when you are praying. Sometimes, like God is always on time. If that person don't do it, God gonna start knocking stuff over on people until somebody gets the urge to do it. I promise you, because God don't play around. And let me tell you one thing about him, he's going to make sure that his word stands strong. So if he says that our prayer is heard and our prayers work, that means that when you open that mouth of yours, the things need to be flying. You hear me? Because God loves his kids. He does. And he says that if you put your trust in the Lord, you will not be disappointed. So hello, somebody needs to start clinging to the word. Somebody needs to start quoting the word. Okay? Somebody needs to start quoting the word. That is for somebody. Okay? And then the last thing I want to say, your time in the morning with Christ is so important. Like, you have to remember, like, if you look at the Bible and you study Jesus' life, he spent multiple times during the day in prayer. Like, he would break off and go into prayer. And I know that during our lifetime, it's kind of hard to do that because you be working like 8 hours, 16 hours, 20, whatever your shift is, okay? But that ain't no excuse. Let's be real. Because if you put God first, he will make everything else work out. So I need you to break down whatever excuse you have. But some of you guys are dealing with depression and having blockages in the spirit and all sorts of other problems because you are not spending your time with God during the morning. And I would even dare to say, if you are somebody who has a crappy day at your job all the time and you're just pissed off about life and everything like that, it is because you are not spending your time with Christ in the morning. Because when you spend time with Christ in the morning and you're doing your praying, you're doing your worship, you are listening to God and asking God the questions that you need to ask. God, what do you need from me? God, what do you have for me? Or you need to get quiet and give him those problems that are in your soul. Some of you guys have been walking around with problems for the longest time. You keep sweeping stuff under the rug, sweeping stuff under the rug, sweeping stuff under the rug. And it's building an infestation in you. And then it causes you to be irritated with everything. Now you can't even deal with the bad people at your job because you're dealing with the bad stuff within yourself. It's bubbling and it's causing problems and worries inside of you. And now you're going to work where they give you more problems and more work and more worry. And you're stressed, you're tired. That time with God is so important. Some of you guys are missing your opportunities to meet God and have breakthrough because he's trying to whisper the secrets to the things that you should do to bring a movement in your life. Some of you guys have been stagnated for so long, and it's because you are not spending your time with God. He has been trying to, and you're like, God, I need your help, I need your help. He's waking you up in the morning, you turn right back over. I need you to rise. And I need you to start giving all your problems and all the things that bother you to the Lord, because while you're quiet and while you're meditating in your word and while you're praising him and worship, he is going to begin to open up things for you. And even if you're not able to fully receive what he's trying to tell you in that moment, you might watch a YouTube video and the very thing that you were pissed off about or not understanding how to move with it or something like that, you'll stumble upon a video that'll tell you exactly what you need to do, or a post that will give you, like, you have to open yourself because God talks to us in a lot of ways. You might have someone send you something that is, talking about whatever you need to, have happen in your life or whatever. He is going to begin to open up all avenues because he knows that sometimes we're a little slow because we're not used to talking with him on a regular basis. A lot of us have spent most of our life acting like he don't even exist. So he will do whatever he needs to do, including sending somebody who wouldn't even normally talk to you to say something that'll land on you. I promise you. I remember I had a conversation with a dude at work that I normally avoid him like the plague. And because he got a little thing for me, and I'm just, honey, it's me and the Lord. Okay? It's me and the Lord right now. I don't even entertain nothing. If the Lord says that it's not it, I ask the Lord before I do a lot of things, everything, just about, because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what? Listen, you could derail your life by playing with things that ain't for you. So I just be like, honey, if it ain't the man God has for me, okay, no, I don't want your number, no, I don't want to give you mine, no, okay, and I'm not calling this man a scrubber like that, but he ain't for me. Okay, I'm just saying, no disrespect. But you ain't the one. And I don't play with the two. I'm just saying, no disrespect. And I'm not saying that I'm all that or nothing like that. I am saying that if it's not for you, why are you dealing with it? Now you're just wasting both of y'all time. Like, you get what I'm saying? Let God lead your life. I'm telling you. Like, people want to do things their own way and go outside of what God is trying to tell you to do. But when I tell you, you're just going to waste a bunch of your life and end up with a bunch of scars that you don't need. Because then you would have to spend years undoing the crap that you did try to do things by yourself. Like, I'm telling you. Like, I cannot wait to just tell all my kids, like, all the things that I did stupidly and how I should just listen to God in the first place. Because if you could just raise your kids godly, they could be walking in their purpose when they're like 2 or 3. Instead of waiting until they're like 33 to finally be like, oh, maybe I should give God some time in my life. Now you done spent 33 years, searching for something, 20 years at a job that you hated, and you could have been living the life God had for you that whole time. I'm telling you. But anyway, I'm not going to make this a super long video. I just want to let people know, hey, it's time to get on time. Because we are connected as a body. We are connected as a body. And the Lord needs us to do our work. He is the head of this body. I need somebody to go and pick up their word. Please go read that. We are all a body. And Christ is the head of this body. What you do affects somebody else, guys. Like, we really, like, I need y'all to start asking the Lord to explain how spiritual things work. I need you guys to start asking God questions about the spirit, not just about little corny stuff like, oh, God, when is my car coming in? You need to be asking him for wisdom and revelation about things that are spiritual, about things that are kingdom. Stop wasting your time, like, talking to God about little things that, like, don't even really matter. Like, once you get to the other side and start really diving deep with the Lord and start going beyond the surface and caring more about, him than yourself, you're going to take off and you're going to understand a lot more is going on than what you think. Things are deeper than what you think. But I'm going to leave it there. God bless you guys. I hope you guys really took this message seriously, because somebody might be blocking your blessing. Okay? And you might be blocking someone's blessing. So let's fix that, because we need help out here. I love you guys.